Yeah, so we've been doing the Advantage Dialogue series for 2 years now.
Hmm.
We used to do a lot of offline events, uh, but now because of COVID, for the
Yeah.
last 4 months we are doing, so we would have done at least 25, 30 webinars, more than that.
Nice.
Uh, so
No, the name itself has a lot of weight to it. The
yeah,
Advantage Dialogue. It's a nice name.
I think we can start.
Yeah, we should get started.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Alok from Tax Mantra Global. Happy to be part of this webinar. I've got Rohit from Razorpay. Happy to partner in with Razorpay, and often we are doing this webinar on a very important topic, which is very important for MSME and SME and a growing startup. And the topic is uh, what is the benefit of going or automate your payroll? I mean, does it simplify your payroll? And payroll is one of the most critical part for a business, considering a big portion of your total expense is your employee cost. Uh, I have a very different take on what's happening and how people are adopting digital and technology more so in COVID.
yeah,
Due to COVID, if not 2 decades, but our adoption to technology has been accelerated by at least 1 decade. And businesses, startups, SMEs, MSMEs, if they are not adopting technology, if they are not adopting technology on a day-to-day basis, on a day-to-day operation, then they will be left, and they will be left, and they will not be able to grow the way other businesses will grow. Because in today's world, uh, because of the pandemic situation, and there are a lot of physical restrictions, you can't go office, you can't have employees
yeah,
in office. There is a continuous lockdown until we have a vaccine. I don't see that this situation is improving, so it will be an off and on and off situation. Now, if those in those scenario, I was talking to someone, Rohit. So I was talking to someone sometime back, and they said that I need to open an office for 3 days every start of the month because we need to payroll, we need to process the payroll. I said,
wow,
why you need to open an office to process the payroll? He said, no, I have checkbooks. I need to coordinate with
yeah,
banks. I
yeah,
need to manually process the salary
yeah.
slip and all those things. And I was wondering that there's huge gap in terms of what SMEs and small businesses can do in terms of adoption technology.
Absolutely.
And an
Look, I
organization.
think
Yeah,
that just reminds me. First of all, thank you so much for having me here and talking about this and allowing us to partner with you. I think that reminded me of one incident back in the day when I was in HR. I started my career in HR, and that time only our CEO could actually do payroll because
yeah,
because it would only happen from his laptop, right?
mm,
There was no other way to do it. Even the bank portal, the integration, all of that, there used to be a key fob as well before that, but only his. And if he was away from his laptop, literally the payroll is delayed.
yeah,
So this is actually rare that someone is saying that I have to go to office to do payroll even today. That is actually surprising to hear.
that's the reality. So, small businesses, they still have lot to do in terms of technology adoption, and somewhere they feel that the client front-end technology adoption is much more important, but technology adoption internally for their own
Yeah,
processes
yeah,
is somewhere where they don't really focus. Somewhere they
agreed.
think that these are cost centers and we don't need to focus. But I personally feel that organizations that embrace technology, and uh, they will execute and they will be super successful in future, because they will able to lower their operational cost, they will
Absolutely.
able to reduce errors, and they will have superior expense experience, not only to their customers, which they always try and target, but also for their employees.
Absolutely.
uh, so I think let's start with on that note. So as I said, happy to invite Rohit from Razorpay. And the idea behind, so we will be doing a series of webinars to benefit MSMEs and small businesses and see how they can adopt technology. And today's webinar, as I said, is focusing on payroll and automation of payroll and what benefits it can bring in. So
Yeah.
I will start with basic things in terms of what a payroll involves and the compliances around payroll, and then I will hand over to Rohit to go into deep into how automation helps and the other stuff. So basically, what is payroll? So payroll is basically processing of salary uh, to an employee, and for most organization it's a big expense. As I already said, it is far most the most important human resource management function also.
Yeah.
So you have to have so payroll will have calculation of your net pay which needs to be transferred to your bank. It will have tax deductions, it will have provisioning for PFs, ESI, TDS. It and you do all those components. You calculate the leave encashment, you do everything. And if there are variable pay, if there is a variable pay, or if there is bonus or something, you calculate everything and you reach a figure, and saying that this is the net amount which I need to pay to my employee for this month.
Yeah.
Now the payroll doesn't end there, the payroll actually starts there, because
Yeah.
uh, then you need to deposit some amount to the government for ESI, PF. You also need to transfer the amount to the employee's bank account, and you also need to uh, generate the payroll in that sense. So I think that's a brief about the payroll process. Now, what are the compliances in payroll, and what are the different laws in India which we follow when we do payroll? So basically, payroll would involve uh, something like uh, Insurance Act, Stops and Establishment Act. There are State Insurance Act. Then Provident Fund Act is also there. There is a Gratuity Act, and now there is a new Minimum Wage Act, which government is trying to revise that. And there are other connecting laws also which you need to keep in mind when you are moving ahead and doing a payroll processing. So it looks very simple, but for a growing company, a company which would have 25, 30 employees, a SME typically would have from 25 to maybe 250, 300 employees. Typically that's the definition of a SME, MSME globally. So for a growing company, at times it becomes very difficult to manually do all this stuff, and you don't miss out anything. I mean, so it's very obvious that you will miss out on something, and then you have to go back and rectify it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, as I was saying, that what are the problems of a manual payroll? And even if in 2020 with pandemic, if as a growing company, if you are even thinking of doing a manual payroll, then there is something massively there's a massive problem in your organization in terms of technology adoption. Now, what are the problems of a manual payroll? Now, what what problems it can create? The first problem is human error. So I have seen so many times when we go and do audits for our clients, and we see that because of some Excel formula mistakes and some top errors, they calculate the PF wrongly, they calculate the net amount
Yeah.
differently. And so human error is a massive challenge when you even think of doing a manual payroll.
Look, not
Second
only
is,
that, not
hmm,
only in the calculation part,
yeah,
one of the cases that I used to always feel bad was we would prepare everything and then we would upload the bank eNet file to the portal on the bank portal, right? And then some transactions would go through and some won't go through, right? For
hmm,
whatever reason. Because again, just like the Excel format, some bank account information is missing or some error is there, IFSC code is there. And if you, when you're dealing with 50, 100 employees and you upload this, the system won't even tell you what the error is. You have to go through manually, recheck, and then run those formulas again, as you said. And I think as you said, human error is no one wants to make that error, right? But
Mm.
because you're reworking the data multiple times, it ends up being like I can see clearly see overburdens HR teams, right? I was that HR person, right? I would take 2 days. My job was to go behind managers and say, please approve your leaves. Please
Yeah,
approve the employees' leaves. And then I
yeah.
would prepare, and then inevitably there would be an error, even though I took time. Only because of the process, I feel nothing to
Mm.
do with. Sometimes there are HR teams who are very, very well educated, who know all the compliances, who have very good Excel sheets, but because of just some formatting, there might be some error. But
Mm.
yeah, I completely get this. And as you said, if someone is not adopting tools today in 2020, yeah, they seriously have technology adoption problems. I would
Yeah.
definitely agree with that. Yeah.
And to add to that, when your HR commits a mistake, now your employee doesn't know whether it's an intentional mistake or it's not an intentional mistake. So if there's
Let's
a
not
cell
even go there.
and I have seen in many companies the employee productivity suffers because for 2 days the employee is just trying to catch hold of the HR to understand
Yes.
how it has been calculated, and even the HR doesn't have the clue because he got the number from the manager.
No, no,
So
I'll tell you, I faced this, right? The
yeah.
first issue is from the employee perspective, who handles payroll? It is HR, right?
Hmm,
It's because HR is the person who gives that CTC letter, the
hmm,
offer letter. All
hmm,
of that is the HR. And we are
hmm,
the people who calculate data, everything, right? So we do everything. And then we have to go and give it to the finance team because
hmm,
we don't get to actually transfer the salary, right? We don't have access from an HR
hmm,
perspective. We don't have access to the bank account, for example. It
hmm,
goes to the finance team. Now, the finance team will do the transaction and then let me know. Now, when
hmm,
an employee, as you said, comes and asks me, I actually don't have the data in front of me. I
hmm,
actually have to wait for my finance person. And as you said, when you're really small, it might get even outsourced to your CA, right? And then
yeah.
the person who is running it actually has to wait on two people. And as you said, employee productivity dips because employees worried every
Hmm,
month कि इस बार सैलरी आएगा कि नहीं, टाइम पे आएगा कि नहीं. He knows it
hmm,
will come, but वो accuracy नहीं है उसका, right?
hmm.
So yeah, I agree. Employee productivity, I would say morale, right? I mean, they worry about it, and that is always. I mean, you can avoid it. I would say, right?
Mm,
It's easy
mm,
to avoid, right? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think, and then there are chances of non-compliance also because you would miss some compliance or other because you are doing it manually.
absolutely.
Uh, and there are multiple compliances which you need to do. Payroll is not as simple as it looks. Yeah, software like yours makes it simple, but if you do it manually in today's world, when there are 7, 8 different laws,
Yeah, yeah.
state laws, central government laws, it's not easy.
I'll
So I
tell you
think this.
one simple example which we see very often. For example,
Mm,
PF
mm,
calculation, right? A
mm,
lot of companies and HR people even today calculate PF based on only basic.
mm,
12% of basic
mm,
minus HRA. But
yeah,
I think 2 years ago, the Supreme Court had a notification, which there
yeah,
was a
mm,
judgment which said PF is calculated on all components minus HRA, including
mm,
special allowance.
mm,
So
mm,
we regularly see this. And even one of the other things is medical and conveyance allowance, right?
mm,
Again, I think 2 years ago, government made that a standard deduction.
mm,
But people, they've been given this one CTC structure 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever they started, right? And they're
mm,
just following that. So
mm.
I agree with you. Non-compliance is again a serious. I think amongst all of these three, all of the four, non-compliance is probably directly hurting the business.
Mm.
So that's something that they should be very, very careful about. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think these are the critical points which impacts your business when you are not adopting technology and when technology is there. In fact, if you ask me, technology is great equalizer. Technology actually enables small businesses, and it's so affordable now. 10 years back, when
Hmm.
SaaS products were not there,
Yeah.
you would always feel that technology is only for larger companies, and for small business they need to suffer. And there was a great uh, disparity between large companies and small companies, because small companies would always suffer because of this. But now there is a great equalizer because
Yeah.
for companies like you, tax firms like us, we are actually helping businesses to adopt technology, be compliant. So that is something small businesses and MSME needs to think about. Uh, so as we were discussing, what are the benefits of using a cloud-based payroll software? Uh, and I think you will discuss this in detail when I will hand over this to you. But to just discuss the main points, one of the big challenge which is there is in terms of the monthly tax calculations and deductions and filings,
Yeah.
and most of the things are data are so interconnected and linked that you miss one and then the calculation completely changes. So I think the
I
relief.
I have a classic example here, Alok.
Hmm,
So I was working with this small startup. There were, I think, we were 20 employees, and I joined as an HR manager,
hmm,
and we were in the solution VAS space, value-added services, right? For
hmm,
all from a telecom standpoint. Now suddenly I was given a mandate to add to hire tier two cities में sales folks,
hmm,
remote
hmm,
sales
hmm,
team we have to set up, right?
hmm,
So I was there for about a couple of years, and we grew the team from 2025 to almost 180 people, and now they got on to get
hmm,
acquired and they're listed, etc., etc. But the challenge there was there was no. We had one system, but obviously it was just like something that we put together.
hmm.
Main challenge was PF, register management, right?
Yeah.
We were onboarding freshers, and register management, creation of UAN, filing, that was a problem. When we started hiring in tier two cities, suddenly we realized, okay, this state has PT. That
Hmm,
state does not have PT. Do we have to
hmm,
suddenly be compliant now? Right?
hmm,
And we got conflicting answers actually from
hmm,
different people, right?
hmm.
On what is the best way. So I agree with this automating or having a solution where I think the way I would like to put it is I think from a business standpoint, I would like to say, how can I offload compliance liability to someone,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I think that's the way they should look at it.
Hmm,
Because if they try to do it themselves, they have to always be updated about it. But again, it does not add too much value to their core business, I would say.
hmm, hmm,
So if they are able to kind of outsource liability of compliance, I think that's the best way for a small business to be focused, in my view.
hmm, hmm, hmm. You rightly said, and focus is the key area for small and growing business, because as a business owner, whether you will waste every month 2 days in processing your payroll, you will focus on the growth story. So
Yeah.
I think data is a massive challenge. When you do it manually, data gets leaked. Before you process the salary, everyone knows
Yeah.
what's the salary it's getting, and more than their salary, they know the salary of their team members.
Yes. Yes,
So
absolutely.
so that is also a challenge. And I know your software does a lot of customized solutions, so that and ease of use is also a big thing which we need to focus on. So I think with these points, what conclusion I have is that first, technology adoption has accelerated by at least a decade because of pandemic. Second, for a growing MSME, SME, if you have more than 10, 15 employees, and if you're growing, it makes sense for you to go online, use a cloud software, use a automated payroll software. And third, if uh, in today's especially in today's time when there are a lot of restrictions and physical movement, it's a great opportunity for you to automate your business processes so that it gives you a mileage when you compare to other businesses. I think with this, uh, just a second, I will just switch on the. Yeah, with this uh, I will talk about Tax Mantra later when you complete your part, and then I can talk about Tax Mantra. So
Yeah.
I hand over to you, and would love to see a brief about your product and how it is solving problems for hundreds and hundreds of businesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello. Thank you so much. Let me
I
go ahead
just give
and
you the power, or
yes.
I just stop sharing. Just see if you can share.
Yeah. Yeah, I can share my screen now. So thank you so much, Alok, once again. Let me just, I have a slightly, like literally a 2 slide presentation after which I will go into the product and the demo itself. But with Option, the idea was very simple, right? As you said, let me start with an analogy that I really like. And this analogy, it might sound silly, but the analogy that I use is it's like paying your phone bill. Payroll is like paying your phone bill, right? It's very simple to pay your phone bill at the end of the month, right? So can you make payroll as simple as that, right? Because as we discussed, for a small business, focus is very important, and I feel that payroll is a non-value-added activity. So a business should focus on only value-added activities, and payroll falls under non-value-added activity. Paying employees on time is an essential activity, if you ask me. So that is very important because employee experience is important. You want them to be with you and build your business. So our idea with Opfin was, how do we make payroll a simple process, a single click and a single activity? And this came from us working in startups,
Yeah.
doing this ourselves. I used to do payroll myself, right, manually. I've outsourced it. I've implemented software. The person who built Opfin was a tech person who has run companies, and he had the same issues trying to understand
Mm.
compliance. So the idea was, as I said, can I reduce it to a phone bill? Right? You don't go and pay your data, voice, SMS, roaming, all of that separately at the end of the month, right? So why should a business pay salary, TDS, PF, PT, ESI separately, right? Why should all of that happen in different places with different Excel files? So we built a system that can completely automate your payroll. It can pay your employees on time every month, right? It can pay your compliances as well. We will pay your PF, we will pay your PT, ESI, the TDS that is calculated from within the system. I also have an employee self-service portal where employees can log in, access data, right? And everything is controlled. As we were talking about data security, right? This makes it very simple because you can track who is logging in, not logging in, right? We also have leave management, reimbursements. So with Opfin, the idea was very simple. We wanted to make a super simple platform that absolutely completes the execution part, not just process payroll, which is probably what you would see in the market. You would see payroll processing as a word, right?
Yeah.
But we decided, why process payroll? Let's execute payroll, right? So I'm going to log into a demo account quickly and give a very, very quick overview of the product. It will probably take 10-15 minutes. What I'll do is I'll add a quick employee, right? So I'm going to log in. We're a SaaS product, so everyone gets a login. I'm currently logged in as an administrator. And probably the first thing that you would see is something called as an account balance, right? So obviously everyone knows about Razorpay, right? Razorpay is one of the uh, biggest payment gateways in India. We help customers right from Swiggy to Hotstar to IRCTC. So we power
Yeah.
payments for a lot of businesses, and we were thinking about okay, a business, we already are helping businesses collect money. Uh, what are the payments that a business has to do at the end of the month? And one of the first things that struck us was payroll, right? So that's where Opfin comes in. And the idea was that you have a payment gateway company and a company that's in the payment space, which is highly regulated, by the way, right? So we comply with pretty much all the different standards that are there in the country, and of course a lot of international standards as well. So the idea is we have a platform where you can have some sort of a virtual balance, and this enables you to make payments seamlessly. So I'll start with something very, very simple. I'll start with something like reimbursements because it actually accurately describes what we do. You would know that reimbursements is a very tricky process. I've been in sales, and I would always
Yeah.
hate to pay well, on behalf of my company, and then wait for a month and then get my salaries back. I mean my reimbursement back, and I would always wonder, okay, why is this process like this? Today you have different ways of doing this. There are different softwares that kind of processes this, but there's nothing that actually, unless you give them a corporate credit card, there is no way for them to actually get their money back instantly.
Yeah.
Because a finance person is not going to log into the bank portal and pay every reimbursement every day, right?
Mm.
So with Opfin, what we tried to do was, okay, how can I make reimbursement as simple as possible? So literally you could have an employee apply for a reimbursement in the morning at 10 a.m. and have it within his account in less than 5 minutes. So it will go to the manager who approves, then it can go to the reimbursement owner, who is the finance person who when approves, and it is instantly Opfin can transfer salaries and make payments to any bank account in India. So you can have a 5 minute reimbursement turnaround time. And we've seen tremendous employee morale boost because of this. We have a logistics company where they have a lot of feet on street people, and these guys spend. And again, it gets paid along with payroll. There's a lot of stress, right? So
Mm.
with Opfin now, they've actually enjoy that. Okay, they don't mind spending that 200 rupees on behalf of the company today, because they
Yeah.
know that if I apply, I get it back quickly. Within a day, I will get it back, right? So that's a simple way of how we are trying to change this perception. So let's quickly take a look on the dashboard itself. I'm currently logged in as an administrator, because of
Mm.
which I have admin options available to me. And the
Mm.
first option I see is people, right? So I can go ahead and add a person. We could add an employee or a contractor. Option handles both of them. I'll cover the difference in just a moment. So I'll just say demo webinar. I'll give a
Mm.
dummy email ID. Let's give a hiring date of 1st of July. And I'm going to ignore the title department. Let's give an annual salary and location. This is I was making a reference to this. Often can pay PT for all the states that you're located in. So you might have your entity registered in one place, but you might be required to pay PT in other places as well. At an employee level, you could select that location and Opfin will take care of that PT payment, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
now we send an email to the employee asking him to complete his employee profile. The idea is that we want to make everything self-serve. An employee can log in, and the best part is the first thing that we ask him to fill is his bank account information, right? We ask him to fill this because we feel that no HR or founder, or it should not be written on email, Excel file, nothing, right? It should be
Mm.
entered directly into the system by the employee, because it should
Mm.
be a self-declaration, right? These are self-declaration things, if you ask me. And the good thing is when we execute salary, in case there are any errors, let's say IFSC code was wrong, an employee automatically gets an email saying, hey, we tried transferring salary for you, but your IFSC code is wrong. Kindly log in, update this information, and then the system will automatically retry, right?
Yeah.
So it puts the onus back on the employee to be accurate instead of blaming the HR or the finance person or someone else, right? The onus is completely on the employee to make sure that his information is correct. Now, right below that, another critical part, on the day of onboarding, Opfin can take care of your PF register management or even your ESI register management. So an employee could opt in for PF, give us the UAN number, and we will go ahead and manage the entire EPF portal for that particular company. And the best part is also, um, okay, there's also a KYC part. The best part
Yeah.
is we could also do a generation of UAN number. So let's say you're hiring a fresher, right? We could generate UAN number directly via Opfin by collecting certain information. So your onboarding day compliance can get done on the day one itself. You don't have to give it as inputs at the end of the month. And now you can see that we have 9 employees and 6 contractors. Dismissing an employee is very simple. I can just go to an employee profile, go all the way down. I have an option called dismiss employee. And this takes me through a full and final settlement page, which allows me to basically define what his last working date is, how much leave encashment he needs, and so on. But if you ask me, payroll is a three-step process, right? The first step is basically making sure you have an updated employee list. And that's very important. When you're doing it manually, you don't end up updating your employee list all the time. But with Opfin, you can manage that because all of that is available to you under employees. Now, the second step of payroll is at a monthly level, you could collect certain inputs to give an employee, right? So you can do that by going to run payroll. And here effectively is where the payroll execution part begins, if you ask me, right? So you have your employee list, you have all your employees, you have the CTC, we gave you an annual CTC. With Opfin, I can give you a preview of the entire salary slip. And this is again very, very crucial, because I think that there is one important question that an employer should avoid from an employee, right? An employee should never come to an employer and say, hey, why did I get only this much salary, right? Or what is this deduction? I don't understand this deduction. Or I was expecting something else, right? Because the CTC was something else. We can completely take that guesswork away. What happens is, if you notice the payslip right now, there is a TDS of about 54,000, and we have a net pay of 195, and this is the CTC structure. But let's say I give certain incentives to this employee, right? I can give incentives. It could be joining bonus. So let's just add some values. Or it could be some sort of loss of pay, where I could say 15 days loss of pay or 10 days loss of pay. It will prorate. Uh, but you can see how quick this is, right? If I open the payslip again, you can see that the TDS has slightly jumped, right? Your net pay is increased, and these two CTC components have been added. Now, while this is the good part, which is from an execution standpoint, you can actually see a payslip upfront. The other nice thing that we do is an employee can log in, right? I'm going to this employee's profile,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm going to their tax deduction. An employee will also be able to see their salary preview, right?
Mm.
So if the admin has put in certain incentives, the employee can see it upfront, right? So there is no question of an employee coming later and saying, hey, why did I get only this much salary? Because you're giving him a preview upfront, right? Salary is not supposed to be complicated, technically, right? You have CTC, you have net pay, and you have a set compliance piece that you have to pay to the government. But what happens is companies try and do all of this in multiple places, in Excel file, on emails, in bank portals, in EPFO portal, and that's why it becomes such a lengthy process. But because everything is happening on the same system with Opfin, uh, you can completely take the guesswork out of the payslip, I would say. So an employee actually can see his upcoming payslip, and right below this, and again, Alok, any thoughts on the dual tax regime? Alok, we forgot to cover that. What do you think about the dual tax regime? Government is also not making it super simple, I would say.
I think
Uh,
I think if you ask me frankly, the government could have avoided this.
mm,
It has unnecessarily complicated the individual taxation and individual filings. Corporate tax filing was anyway complicated, but and instead of doing that, they could have just expanded the tax slab,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
purpose could have been the same.
yeah,
And the life becomes difficult. Now the challenge is that, so there was a joke which was going around that the government said that with dual taxation, an employee or an individual will be able to file his tax return without taking help from a chartered accountant.
I don't think so.
But now, just to compare and to analyze and to see which option individual should choose, he would need an expert opinion.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't. We actually did an analysis on where this would actually make sense. I think only between the tax, if your CTC is between say about 10 to 12 and a half lakhs or 13 lakhs, if it's somewhere in that bracket, I think you are better off with the new tax regime. But
Mm,
in every other tax bracket, if you actually are planning to make investments, you would continue with the old tax regime, right? At least
mm,
that's the sense that we got. But what we do with Opfin is actually make it very simple. We give both the tax regimes, and we tell the employee upfront, okay, if you chose the new tax regime, this is your liability, and if you choose the old one, this is your liability, right? And currently, this person is on the old tax regime because by default, the government at least mandates that everyone be on the old tax
mm,
regime,
mm,
and then
mm,
they get to switch and choose, right? Again, that is
mm,
also very confusing, Alok. I wanted your thoughts on this. Initially, the government said they can switch, and then they again sent a circular which said you can only choose once. But then
mm.
again, at the time of IT filing, returns filing, you can choose again, right? So I didn't understand why that would be like that. If you're freezing it, you would freeze it even for return filing, right?
I don't know. I don't know. And we have just started filing tax return, and initial response has been that individuals wants to stick with the old regime
Yeah,
because they don't want to change something and they don't know what will happen next year also.
that is also true.
uh, and they say that with all the tax investment which they make, it doesn't make really a difference, and it's only for people who are at the till the salary. I don't remember the exact number because that's not on top of my mind, but we calculated internally that salary up to 7 lakhs or something only, people at that level will make a difference, because above that point, we would anyway do tax investments and it will
Mm.
balance out.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I think we've went through that change within Opfin. Initially, we had it open where employees could change it whenever they want. Then we had to lock it back again because the government changed it. But because we've just added this employee, he's able to select it. He's not confirmed it, and you can
mm,
see that currently his new tax regime would be, he would be paying lesser tax. But right below this, it's
mm,
actually the old investment declaration form. So
yeah,
let's just
yeah.
go ahead and see what will happen if we declare certain investments. So let's put in some HRA, and let's go below. Actually, his tax already reduced with the HRA
Yeah.
exemption that he's getting. But let's actually go down and declare more under section 80C. Another very nice thing about Opfin is, uh, I'm trying to, as I said, I'm trying to productize payroll
Mm,
processing software and payroll outsourcing, right? Because I'm managing doing both. So there's one part that I actually end up doing, which is the verification of these documents. So all the employees can upload proofs at the end of the year right here on Opfin.
mm,
And Opfin will take up the verification of these documents in the month of January, and basis that the TDS gets adjusted for them. So just with those declarations now, the tax is reduced. And
yeah.
obviously, again, an employee gets to see it upfront. He can see that he will be paying only 36,000 and his salary
Mm,
is now going to be this much. And again, all of these are called inputs. If you go back to current process, right? Even IT declaration is called inputs because you pick it up and then you again do the calculation and all of that. But with Opfin, everything is happening in the same place. So every time you go to run payroll, it's processed, right? There's
mm,
nothing to process. And this, if you open the payslip again, you can see that because of his investment declaration, it's all come here basically, the exemptions that he's
mm,
getting and all of
mm,
that, right? So everything is set. The only thing, as I said, in our view, payroll is a three-step process. Add your employees, give them a CTC, let Opfin do the structuring, give certain incentives. Every employee gets a login, let them give bank account information, let them declare investments. And every month, we will ask you for your payroll date,
mm,
right? So anywhere from 28th to 6th and 7th of the next month, companies do payroll.
mm.
So on that day, you just come to run payroll, make sure you're in the right payroll month, and click on finalize payroll, right? Now, there's one small thing that I want to show you here. Here's in settings,
Yeah.
we have something called as payments and compliance setup, right? Where you can
Okay.
actually tell Opfin, you're not just calculating salaries, right? You
Mm,
can tell me, do you want me to transfer salaries? Do you want me
mm,
to pay TDS? Do you want me to pay PF? Do you want me to pay ESI, PT, right? Every one of these payments, either to your employees or to the government, you can make Opfin do it, right?
okay.
It's not it. What I'm going to show you now is literally this, right? You go to run payroll, and when you click on finalize payroll, let me just do that again. When you click on finalize payroll, as I was telling you before, I will give you a single number,
Mm,
right? In this case, it is 11 lakh 95,000. So if I click on that, that has bank payments to your salaries for employees, TDS, ESI, PT. So the idea is there's already balance in this account, so I can go ahead and execute this payroll, right? So I'll show you how it looks if I don't have balance. Let's say I decide to give this employee an absurd amount of incentives, right? Just to see how it looks. And when I finalize payroll, again, all the computation is instant. His TDS would have jumped astronomically now.
Mm.
It, there's nothing for you to worry and calculate or look at any formula. It's all instant. And if you look at your total balance now, you need 71 lakhs to execute this payroll. And
Mm.
obviously you don't have balance to do that. So the
Mm.
idea is very simple. Get your employee master data in order, right? Which is your employee list. Give them a CTC. You're not changing CTC every month anyways, right? It is fixed. So put that CTC. Monthly, you can collect the inputs. And let me just reduce this. And once you have your register ready, once you have
Mm.
this entire page ready, take a look at the total money that is required, load that money to Razorpay, and then click on request execution. So the moment we click on request execution or execute payroll, the system receives the request, and within 15 minutes, all your employees get paid. You don't have to do anything. Literally, they get it in their bank accounts. If there is any error, all of it is automated. Emails go out. Every time a rupee is reduced from your balance, the administrator will get a notification saying your balance is reduced by so much because we've paid salary for this employee, right?
Yeah.
You can go to reports, and this is my favorite part. You can go, we have a report called TDS report, right? So you go to TDS report every month. I will pay the salary TDS and give you the challan on the system, right? So as a business owner, you can simply sit back and get this TDS challan right within the system. And every quarter, I will also take care of the filings, right? So again, the acknowledgements for that will be available within the system. So with a single click of a button, and obviously similarly, I will make PF payments, PT payments, ESI payments, and make the filings as well, monthly payments and filing. You can go to reports, go to ledger, and here every transaction gets called out, right? So if it's pending, again, this is a demo account, but in a live account, you would also see the UTR number. So the next time an employee calls me and asks me, hey, where is my salary? Right? I can give him a UTR number and say, please check with your bank. Right? It is pending at their end. It's gone through from our side. So
Mm.
that's instant communication can happen because everything is accessible for the HR person. So quickly going back to people, I just want to show another very, very simple thing. For example, let's say this person was not an employee and he was a contractor. Now, this contractor could be a company, it could be an individual, a freelancer, an intern, a contractor, any of them. The only difference between an employee and a contractor is that a contractor will not have a CTC, right? They just paid, they will give you an invoice, you pay them. A very, very simple example I can think, and this is something that I used to do, right? When I was working in a startup, we had rented a house, right?
Mm.
We were working in a house. It was a 3-bedroom house in Dollars Colony in JP Nagar, and we were, the rent payment was just made on the bank transfer every month. The founder was doing it. It was a small HR SaaS product at that time, and then we grew. We became about 10 people, and the 3-bedroom house was not enough after that. So then we decided to actually get an office space right there in JP Nagar, and we started. And I was in charge of doing. I was the first non-tech hire there. So this is a very nice. The product was called Recruiter Box, which is an HR SaaS product in the recruitment space. So they would build, and I was doing end-to-end marketing, sales, hiring, all of it. And one of the things I had to do was pay office rent, right? And we had to wait. I had that guy, and we couldn't make the payment without a rent invoice, right? It was mandatory for us. So today with Opfin, completely automated. If I had this, I would. If I had this then, I would really love to use it, right? Because I can add my landlord here, right? And I can just put a payment date. Let's say I pay my rent on the 31st of every month, right? And I can repeat this because it's a rent payment. I'll say repeat monthly, right? And let's say my rent is 50,000 rupees. And these are the tax codes, non-salary tax codes that we support. So you would know obviously that if you pay more than 2.4 lakhs as rent in a year, you have to deduct 10% TDS, right? So you can select the right tax code, click on pay them, and we automatically also update any compliances. As you said, it's very, very important. So due to
Yeah.
COVID, the government has lowered TDS from 10% to 7.5%. Otherwise, this TDS would be at 5,000. but we're basically saying that every month on this to this particular person on this date, we would pay this much, and we will take care of the non-salary TDS payment as well, right? So we have customers. For example, I have this one small little content writing firm. They that finance person would get 30, 40 emails a day with invoices saying, "Pay me for this, pay me for that, pay me for this," right? And he would have to make the payment and then respond. So there was email communication, bank portal interaction, all of that was happening. Today, that person has added all their contractors to Opfin. They log in, and the good thing is they log in and they can raise a request to you saying, "Hey, I have done this work for you, please pay me," right?
Hmm.
So you take a look at the invoice, select, approve, and pay, and the person gets paid. If there is a TDS component, we will take care of it. You go to reports, you go to TDS, you will see your non-salary TDS challenge as well, right? So the best way to look at Opfin, and literally there is only three things you can do in Opfin, Alok. You have people, where you manage your people. You have run payroll, where you pay your employees, and you have pay contractors, where you pay your contractors. That's it. Employees obviously have access to payslip because that becomes important for them. They can log in, access payslip. End of the year, I will generate Form 16s for all the employees so they can access that here. I have a lightweight attendance and leave module where you can configure leaves. Employees can apply for leave. It will go to the manager for approval, right? They can also regularize their attendance and so on. We've already covered tax deductions and reimbursement, right? So this is pretty much it. I don't know if if we notice this, but we can actually execute payroll without looking at a salary register.
Yeah, and the best part is that uh, if you add the contractor part, the bank payment part, and the salary execution, you are solving major bottleneck in the accounts department as far as payment is concerned. So
Absolutely.
you're taking care of the payments also in that sense.
Yeah, not only that, for example, I have customers for some reason they might delay payroll execution for 2, 3 employees, right?
Hmm.
So they will pay everyone on the first, but then they will pay some employees on the 15th, or they'll delay some payments, or they might execute their payroll itself late. They might execute payroll on the 12th, right? Now, in that case, you have to pay TDS interest, right?
Hmm.
So the system will automatically calculate that, and we will pay the TDS interest as well, right?
Hmm.
So when I started my demo, that's what I said, right? We wanted to make it like paying your phone bill. So when I give you that one payroll bill, it should be rest assured that your employees are getting paid and your compliances are taken care of, and you will
Yeah.
find your reports and challans. You don't have to worry about it, right? And because the liability is on Opfin, right? You want your PF register management, ESI register management. Employees want, for example, advance salary, right? It can be it can be very instantaneous. You can have, uh, and let's say, for example, this particular employee, um, demo webinar, right? He's been skipped right now. So let me just quickly show you this. So his current net pay is 1 lakh, correct? So let's say this employee uh, applied for an advance salary, right? He's been dismissed. Let me just cancel his dismissal. Let's say he's been given an advance salary of 50,000. Now, since I'm an administrator, I can approve it automatically, and I'm going to approve it. He will instantly get paid, right? So the moment he gets paid, if I go back to run payroll and open the payslip again, I don't know if you notice net pay is already reduced, right?
Yeah.
That's because there is advanced salary deduction that we're calculating. So, and in fact, is going to fall short by about 400, 4,400 rupees, 200 rupees. So, the idea, as I said, was whatever you want to do, you can do it all on one system. And since everything is happening on one system, all the compliances will get calculated automatically. Your employees have visibility. They want reimbursement. They want to see TDS, payslip. They have that visibility. Your HR has visibility because they can control payroll. They have access to everything, right? Your finance has a lot of freedom because they don't have to go to the bank portal every time and wait for the founders or approvals, right? We have different user roles. We have, if you go to settings, we have user roles called administrator, report viewer, payroll. So we have founders, for example, who would write to us and say, hey, my For example, my CA wants salary register, my CA wants HR register, or that data, this data. So we would say just add them as contractors and give them report viewer permission, right? So they can log in and download all the reports. I have all these. I have salary register, HR register, attendance reports, TDS, what your employees have declared, right? I have all these reports. So they can just log in, download whatever the report they want for their compliance and audit purposes. So you are free to completely focus on your business and not worry about payroll, because payroll, compliance is and audit, right? These are the three main things.
Yeah.
So all of this can be covered because your CA can log in. In your case, this is something that you provide, right? So you can completely make it a no frills experience for the customers themselves who are running the business. So yeah, this is a very quick demo of Opfin. I think we have a few questions on chat if I'm not wrong. Uh, let's take a quick look at that. I think you've already responded. My bad. I have not seen it. That's it. Is calculation visible to employees before payroll? Yes. As I said, it is definitely possible. They actually can see the payslip upfront, which is very, very good. Can
Yeah.
we switch the tax regime in mid of the year? Uh, Straightforward answer is no. The government does not allow you to do it. But Alok, what's your response to this?
Yeah, so you should not once you have opted for a tax regime, you go ahead and file the tax return. Now, whether you can do it next year is what we are wondering, and we need some more clarification from the government. But
Hmm.
mid of the year, no.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I think a couple of other questions we've already covered as part of the this thing. I think someone's mentioned that the new tax slab is beneficial only around 10 lakhs. I think that's something that even I was talking about.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. Any other some of the other common questions that we actually get, let me just share that, is for example, how do we add one-time earnings, bonus calculations? I showed you that, right? It becomes automated, right? TDS is instant. Is it difficult to switch to Opfin? Absolutely not. It takes literally an hour. If depending on how big your company is, if you're less than 10 employees, what I would recommend is go to opfin.com, sign up, go to people, click on add many, put your employees email ID, they will all get invites, let them start signing up, filling their information. And we have a very nice report called missing information report, right? This will tell you all the information that is missing across your employees. So you have a one click remind button and they can get notified and they can fill all of that. So onboarding is very simple. You can sign up, or we can also share a simple Excel file if you have more employees, and we can do a backend upload for you as well. How does Opfin maintain leave and attendance record? Again, this is something that we cover. We have reports for all of this. So if you go to reports and go to attendance as a report, we have employee wise, and we can also have attendance for contractors, because contractors could be interns, right? Or some contract employees themselves. And this can also get pushed to payroll adjustments. So that is something that we cover. And can employees access the self-service portal? Absolutely, on the mobile phone. We don't have a mobile app. That's something that is work in the progress. But at the same time, we are a little conflicted about building a mobile app, because payroll is a one-time monthly activity, if you ask us, right? So do we want everyone to log in all the time, apart from administrators? So we are also debating on that. But apart from that, yeah, the idea continues with Opfin. Again, let me just, I don't know if I mentioned this. Opfin literally stands for operations and finance, right? So we started with the goal of making operations and finance very simple for a business. And we will continue to, build on that, Alok, and hope to, work with as many small businesses in India. I
Yeah.
personally feel that HR is very operational in India, because I come from that background. So I'm
Mm.
really excited about talking to HR people, making them see how you can make something like payroll, which is trivial in my view. A lot of people get worried about payroll, Alok. I'm sure you heard this. I don't know if you've heard it from HR people, because finance folks are always good with numbers and Excel sheets, and you will get the job done. I mean, you know it very well. But from an HR perspective, payroll
It's a
is still,
challenge.
yeah, payroll is still something that they feel that it's difficult. they get scared about, I feel. So personally,
Yeah.
I want to drive that thought that, payroll is non-value added. Don't worry about payroll. If you're an HR, I would say focus on uh, how you can contribute to top line. I mean, it's very difficult in India. People don't talk about HR like that today, but this is already happening in some of the Western countries, right, where
Mm.
HR has transformed. HR has a seat at the business today. The concept of HR business partnering has come in slightly larger companies, but in smaller businesses, I think even the founders, and sometimes what happens is they look at HR as very operational role because it's a very cost, as I said, it's a cost function. But if they can automate the operations part, I feel that HRs can really add a lot of value. Yeah, and India, it's just getting started, so we are excited. I am excited to take this to as many HR people as possible. And obviously,
Mm.
from your perspective, I would think that all the finance folks should definitely look at this, I would say.
So very interesting news which I wanted to share with our audience, the hundreds of people who are watching on Facebook also, is that at Tax Mantra we hundreds of businesses are every month. So if I think close to 400 businesses on a monthly basis that they depend on us for their compliances, be it TDS,
Yeah,
GST, accounting, and that's one part of our service which is actually we render to our customers. Now, what the idea is that we are, and the great news that we are now will be bringing in your software into our services, and we will build our services on top of it for the payroll part at least. So
yeah,
now, most of our customers, the current customers, we would offer them this the software which you have just discussed, and also in future, Tax Mantra will work with Razorpay for this software and see that we reach and we take this automation of payroll to as many businesses as possible, because at the end of the day, that's where we create value, and that's
yeah,
where uh, the main effort should be put in into structure and advisory, and the compliances, basic compliances should take care of themselves. So I think that's the idea. And uh, uh, so Tax Mantra, as I said, that we it's close to 30 years of experience in the group, and we are a global tax and legal firm. We provide uh, advisory, tax and regulatory compliances in India, Singapore, and US. Dubai, UK, and EU we have just started now,
yeah.
and I think it was a great learning experience to learn what your software is doing, Rohit, and I see a lot of opportunity for small business to actually go and automate themselves. And you rightly said that it's not only payroll processing; it's actually you are executing and you are ensuring that payroll becomes a click
Yeah,
of a work. And
absolutely.
that has so many other aspects for vendor payments, for if
Reimbursements.
reimbursements, TDS filing. So it's a great thing, and as I said, that both of our companies will work together on this. The idea is to help businesses to grow and automate, and this is just first of our workshop which we'll be doing.
Yeah.
The more workshops which are lined up, and thanks for joining in today. And Rohit, any concluding comments which you want to put?
Alok, it was wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was nice to catch up today and talk about the small businesses. I love working with startups. I've been in that space for the last 10 years. So anything that can move the needle for small businesses, we would love to partner and work. So that's the intention of Opfin. And yeah, there are exciting things that we want to build as well. So yeah, we're looking forward. Thank you so much for having me, and we look forward to working together with Tax Mantra. And for
Thanks.
all the participants and people watching us, thank you so much for joining in this evening for your time.
Thanks. And everyone stay safe, and bye till the time we come back again for another webinar. Thanks, Rohit. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.